Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. So, Case's movie reviews every Friday at 8 o'clock. This started way back when I would make movie references for the last several years, and Case just didn't get them, and I got so frustrated. Eventually, he said, you've got to start watching big movies. And we'll do it every week. You review it from the lens of a 25-year-old guy who'd only seen Boys in the Hood before we started this. But now he's seen the big movies, a lot of them, like Shawshank and Back to the Future. He's seen Braveheart.
Roadhouse.
The Matrix.
Saving Private Ryan.
Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing.
The Mummy.
The Mummy. Last week it was Mallrats because in honor of Riot Fest.
A bit of a different tone with that one.
Yeah.
Not exactly Saving Private Ryan, even though I enjoyed Mallrats more.
But Karate Kid, 40 years ago tomorrow it came out, so he got to watch. And I'm so jealous with these movies. He got to see Karate Kid for the first time ever. So we take you back as we always do. We play the movie trailer from 40 years ago when Karate Kid came out before we get to Case's review.
For Daniel LaRusso,
Is this the only food you guys got?
the future seemed far from terrific
This place is a dump. You should go back to New Jersey.
Hey, I know it's hard, but we're not quitters, are we?
until he met the right girl.
Hi.
She's beautiful. I say she's beautiful. I think she's beautiful.
Is that your address? You got it.
But that only angered the wrong guy. Then, in one man, he found a teacher
I promise teach karate.
and a friend.
Fighting always last answer.
In the end, it will be in Daniel's hands, in his body, and most of all, in his mind.
Concentrate, focus, power. Remember balance. No mercy.
Columbia Pictures presents The Karate Kid.
Hey, what kind of belt do you have?
Canvas. You like? J.C. Penney, $3.98.
Did you hear what he said there at the end?
Well, yes, but I also love that the guy's just narrating the entire thing, and then after that, and then at the very end, it's like, wait a minute, did you follow a trailer or a cliff notes?
Get the whole movie in a minute 6.
He liked a girl. They got mad. He met a teacher. He fought him at the end. What the hell?
Again, movie trailers were so much better back in the day.
Let me just say off the bat, before I share any other thoughts on the movie, my favorite line of the movie is, what kind of belt is that? Canvas, J.C. Penney, $3.99. That's the funniest line of the entire movie.
Oh, yeah.
That's a home run.
Mr. Miyagi had some lines.
Oh, boy, did he. All right, you guys ready?
We're ready for this. So I'm nervous, as always, with movies like this that I, cherish from my childhood, that you, of all people, to judge basically my life, I feel like you're judging on this movie. So get right to it.
Oh, boy.
Karate Kid. Give us your review and your stars at the end, or I don't know, karate chops or whatever the number of karate chops it is out of 10.
There you go. Karate Kid, 1984, raises the question of whether or not I can properly identify the good guys from the bad guys, because after watching this movie, I desperately want to be a part of the Cobra Kai gang.
Oh, no.
To me, they are the real winners of this movie. I guess let me try to paint a picture as to where I was when I was watching this, the headspace I was in.
Yes.
I see Daniel, who is I guess 15-year-old or 16-year-old who looks 11, who is obsessed with living in Newark, New Jersey, which is a weird thing for a teenager to want to do.
Bad place.
He's forced to move out to Reseda, California.
Reseda.
And he just kind of sucks.
What?
That's my whole thing with this movie. Now, I like this movie. I like this movie a lot.
That's good to know.
But nothing about Daniel did I find to be particularly charming or likable. And when I look in the mirror and ask myself, do I want to be the scrawny guy that loves New Jersey, or do I want to be in the dirt bike riding karate gang? I'm going to side with the dirt bike riding karate gang every single time.
Well, morally, this movie challenged you. Mm-hmm. Not you personally, everybody. Everybody, because Johnny is amazing.
He's the coolest.
So cool.
I can't believe he's not.
But he's mean.
He's very mean.
Yeah, but I also, maybe it's justified, because here's what I thought. Because
his meanness is justified, Kenzie.
Because Daniel moves out to California, and I was blown away by the fact that he moves there, and in a day he's already been invited to a beach party and is like trying to assert dominance over the friend group. Back down just a little bit. He acts like he's Ronaldo on the beach with all of his soccer moves, and he keeps on side-eyeing Allie with an eye, and it's a lot for a new kid. It's a lot.
He's not allowed to hit on somebody?
Learn your place here, okay?
He's not allowed to try to fit in?
No, because it happened too quick. He tried to assimilate too quickly.
Just because you get mad because you lived in Indiana for 18 years and didn't get invited to a party doesn't mean you can be mad at him because he went one of the first days.
That's a very astute observation,
It
Kenzie.
is, because I started thinking about, I didn't move when I was a kid. I only moved when I moved to Chicago to go to college. And I didn't talk to anybody for my first 3 weeks of college.
Because you have respect.
I was just trying to figure out the lay of the land. I didn't want to ruffle any feathers.
Someone invited you to a North Avenue beach party and you didn't get over there because I can't go now. It's too early.
I can't look at a girl if I go there either.
You have no idea how true what you just said was. That is a separate story.
And I'm sorry I'm correct. I don't want to be correct on that.
I'm blown away by the character of Daniel on a few different fronts. There are a few things that I noticed in this movie. One of which is that for being a teenage boy, he is way too close with his mother. I found their relationship to be so odd. There's the scene where they're in the restaurant, and you got to remember, this is a 16-year-old kid, and you think about how moody and antagonistic and secretive teenagers are, and she goes, "Oh, do you have your eye on anybody?" And he starts waxing poetically about the beauty of Allie with an eye, and it's like, hey man, not in front of your mom. Don't do this right now. It's deeply uncomfortable to watch.
It's not like he said no because I want you. And he's talking about another woman.
He starts making out with his mom.
He's talking about somebody else. What's the big deal?
She's a poor single mother that brings the kid out there. That's why they have a better bond.
Well, against his will.
Yeah, no, because she had no job in Newark. They have a better life in Reseda.
I heard all about it. I know. Trust me, I heard her sob story.
Their dad bailed out on him because he was an a-hole.
So, God forbid he talks to her when the dad left and abandoned it. God forbid anybody in her life cares about her, okay? So I'm sorry that bothers you.
I actually really like the mom. I just think Daniel has a weird mommy obsession. I think the later in life he goes, there's going to be more and more issues with his mom, and if he and Allie with an eye get married, I don't know if that happens in the sequels.
I like how every time you're saying Allie with an eye, because that's in the introduction scene on the beach.
She's a badass. That's the other thing I want to talk about is she's super cute and super fun, and Daniel's isn't even in her stratosphere. I don't buy for a second that they're an actual couple.
I like early text coming in here. Adam from 630. Yes, Case. Daniel was a little bitch. He played the victim and then had an F with Johnny whenever he could.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because, so Daniel hits on Johnny's ex-girlfriend, which there's the great line where one of the Cobra Kai guys I thought they were broken up. And the other guy goes, well, she broke up with him. He's not over it or something like that. It was oh, that's real.
How's that Danny's fault?
Yeah, it happens all the time.
No. Because Daniel then antagonizes Johnny on the beach. He gets in the way of the radio argument where they're fighting over Allie with an eye's radio.
Now, you're forgetting that Johnny antagonized him first, came at him.
Hey, I don't know. If a guy on a dirt bike came up to me, I'd probably just do what he said. I feel again, we're glossing over the cool dirt bike guys here. Maybe they should just run the town.
I think you're in love with Johnny.
A little bit. And then after
I don't know if you want to sleep with Johnny or Allie. Yeah. Good Lord.
And I understand it, but I actually understand it.
But at soccer tryouts, Daniel just unloads on these people. He's like Ron Artest in the soccer tryouts. It's completely inappropriate the way that he acts. Of course he was kicked off the team.
He's trying to make the team.
And then he punched somebody in the face.
It's a tryout.
Yeah.
He's supposed to suck?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's not allowed to try out for the team. He's not allowed to foot at the beach. He's do whatever the dirt bike guy says. And he can't date anyone's ex.
Well, he can't date
No
Allie.
wonder he didn't want to leave New Jersey.
Yeah.
These rules are horrible.
That's right. Well, but Case's rules for the movie. That's right.
I know.
He can't be with Allie because Allie's super cool and super charming and wealthy. And Daniel is...
And wealthy?
And Daniel is a big old poor goober.
So now you're classes?
That better be
Case is like, well, rich women can't be with poor men.
that better be a takeaway today that Daniel from Karate Kid was a big old poor goober.
Who cared about his poor single mom.
They had to push start their wagon.
Oh, I saw.
Their
What a
station was.
loser.
Imagine rolling up in that jalopy thinking you can sleep with Allie with an eye. Not in my house. Not in my story.
Oh, this is the best Karate Kid review ever.
I'm
This is
so
unreal.
bothered by it because Daniel might be the worst dressed movie character of all time.
He's poor.
Trust me, I know. He shows up to hit on Allie. He's wearing a flannel and camo pants. He's dressed like you at the Black Keys concert a few years ago.
That's fair.
Yeah, don't diss on camel pants. Do not diss on them.
I think their relationship is entirely ridiculous. And then it gets weird because there's a scene where they're at the country club and Daniel like falls into a spaghetti and meatballs meal.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did that. But everything after that up until the karate tournament, he's super mean to Allie with an eye. Like, they're at the arcade, and he's being a little bitch about it.
I will say before you continue that there is a great YouTube. I can't remember who did it, but showing how Daniel is the villain, the bully in the movie. But let's not get sidetracked on that right now. I want to continue this review. We're up against it here because you wanted to have a separate segment about the karate tournament itself.
We haven't even talked about the karate and the Karate Kid. We've only talked about the kids so far.
You haven't mentioned Mr. Miyagi's name yet.
Apparently we should be called the poor kid because that's what Keith can focus on.
All we heard about is the poor kid and the cool-ass dirt bike guy.
Oh, God, he's cool.
All right, so Case's review of Karate Kid continues. Comment at 312-591-8300. Text in and share what you think so far of his review of Karate Kid. 40th anniversary is tomorrow.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q 101.
Well, it's Brian and Kenzie right in the middle of probably one of Case the producer's best reviews of a movie, Karate Kid. And this is the 40-year anniversary tomorrow of Karate Kid coming out. As again, we'd like you to contribute during it at 312-591-8300. Great song. Great. That's Joe Esposito who did that song.
Is this movie why that song is famous?
Oh, 100%.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Did you think it was like a radio hit?
Actually, yes.
Why do I just say it's so funny? It's a classic.
I just don't know if
Somebody
radio...
worked really hard on that song.
I just wonder...
Who do you think people just liked it?
No, but I mean, like, songs that were in movies like that back then were not necessarily played on the radio that much. You know
I don't know.
You know
yeah.
Oh, it's so good. So just to get some input coming in from you guys at 312-591-8300. And if you missed the first part of his Karate Kid review, you have to go back to the podcast and check it out. So far, he's all on Johnny's side and thinks Daniel is, quote, a poor doofus loser. Is that what
I called him a goober.
A goober. A poor goober loser.
He just wants to hug Johnny. So good lord.
I just think Daniel has the least amount of riz of any movie character I've ever seen.
Good gravy. well, Maddie checked in and said... At 630, is Case just mad that the little nerd won things and got the girl, unlike him? And he likes the bully because he wishes that he had a protector in high school like the bully?
Well, I wish I was the bully.
Yeah.
If I had to design a perfect character, he would be good at riding a dirt bike and good at karate.
Yeah.
He's the perfect man when you think about it.
He's your man.
Listen, your thoughts are not ungrounded because the movie would be nothing without Johnny.
He's
Without
fantastic in it.
And there's a scene. You have the one of the dojo scene.
I do.
So this is when Mr. Miyagi and, of course, Daniel LaRusso go in.
That's right. Because we haven't really talked about the karate aspect of it so
you've just
far.
been talking about his clothes and stuff.
Well, because, you know,
he's cool with his poor mom.
He's too close to his poor mom and Mr. Miyagi.
Well, I got bad news for Mr. Miyagi. This is another 80s movie in which a child is spending a lot of unsupervised time with an adult that isn't a family member.
Hey, you slander Miss Miyagi, I'm going to punch you in the face.
This is much like Back to the Future, and I can't think of the old guy's name of Back to the Future.
The professor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name?
The actor is Christopher Lloyd.
No, the character's
Doc?
name.
Oh,
Doc.
Doc. It's just Doc, right?
Is it, I was thinking it was something else. Okay, all right. But like Doc is just around Michael J. Fox way too much, and we don't really establish what their relationship is.
I've always thought that about Back to the Future. How did this start? That he's just down with the inventions. That's a missed.
Doc Brown, by the way, not just Doc. Doc Brown.
I was thinking Doc
He doesn't go
McStuffins.
Doc Brown. He goes Doc the whole time.
So this is a movie. This almost feels like a parenting lesson where if you have a child who comes home one day and they have a headband on that they've never worn before, and you're like, oh, where'd you get the headband? You're like, well, this old man gave it to me, and in return, I'm going to do his chores the entire summer. I would call the cops at that point. I would call Chris Hansen. He was grooming him, basically.
Well, of course you would feel that way because you got, an allowance for not doing chores. So why would somebody have to work for something?
It just seems odd that it's coming from outside the family.
Oh, Lord. This is the lens of a 25-year-old watching a 40-year-old movie right now. He was getting groomed. He got a car. Now you're actually selling me on the idea that Mr. Miyagi was grooming Daniel. Oh, Lord.
God forbid he has a father figure.
Yes,
You
Dad-
guys are awful people.
I'm just saying he's starting to sell
Mr.
me.
Miyagi steps up in this guy's life,
Yeah.
and now he's a pedophile for helping?
All I'm saying is if this happened to your kid, you would want to ask some questions. You'd be like, wait, he's painting fences?
Thank God he's doing something. Are you kidding me?
I got to admit, when you said it that way, it stuck with me just a bit. Now, what part of the dojo scene do you have here?
So this is after Daniel, of course, gets his ass kicked a bunch of times. Starts a fight at the Halloween dance, and then can't fight his own battle. Mr. Miyagi has to come and save him.
Yeah.
So this is them going to the Cobra Kai dojo.
Oh,
which
so good.
Seems like a badass place to be.
Yeah.
And challenging and is essentially inserting Daniel into the upcoming karate tournament, which I guess every town has.
And I believe it's the first appearance of John Kreese, Sensei John Kreese in the movie.
Yes.
I hear you jumped some of my students last night.
Afraid the facts mixed up.
You calling Mr. Lawrence a liar?
No call no one nothing.
What are you here for, old man?
Come ask leave boy alone.
What's the matter? The boy can't take care of his own problems?
1-to-1 problem, yes. 5-to-1 problem. Too much ask anyone.
Is that what's bothering you? The odds. Well, we can fix that. You like matching, Mr. Lawrence?
Yes, Sensei! No more fighting.
This is a karate dojo, not a knitting class. You don't come in my dojo and drop a challenge and leave, old man. Now, you get your boy on the mat, or you and I will have a major problem.
I'm guessing right when you saw that scene, you were like punching the couch.
Oh my God, this is the best scene in the movie.
Oh,
I was
so
fired up for this.
So dramatic.
Too much advantage. Your dojo.
Name a place.
Tournament.
You've got real nerve, old man. Real nerve. But I think we can accommodate you.
Ask one more small request.
Make it fast.
Ask leave boy alone to train.
You're a pushy little bastard, ain't you? I like that.
I like that.
All right. No one touches the prima donna until the tournament. Is that understood? Yes, Sensei!
Oh, man.
Best scene in the movie right there. I absolutely loved it. I got fired up for the karate tournament after that.
But you were rooting for Johnny.
100%.
That's the problem.
Well, okay, I'm sorry that this old man has to come to this dojo and say, hey, don't beat up my young friend here.
How about you? He's actually not getting gangbanged. There's like 15 of them. He's
Yeah.
like, hey, how about not all of you jump him? And that offends you.
You heard what Mr. Miyagi said. 1-to-1, no problem.
Oh, you're going to do the voice? Interesting.
I don't think it's going to translate well if somebody just pulls.
Someone just tuned in right now.
I really don't want you to do it.
I didn't think you were going to do the voice.
I'm asking as your co-host to not do that because if someone just tunes in or pulls the audio separately, it doesn't come across great.
You think Robert Feder's going to come out of retirement for this?
Please, I'm begging you.
1-to-1.
Okay, I quit.
1-to-1, no problem. 1-to-5, ask no one to do that.
You're really good at that. Why is that your best impression?
Don't ask him that either. I don't like that he practices that.
All right, let's talk about the karate tournament.
Yes.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
It's really awesome. I have a few logistical issues with it. One of which, This feels like a lot of karate players for one area of the country. There's a lot of people that know karate seemingly at a high level.
I think back in the 80s, karate was peaking. Like, just because there was no UFC then, there was no MMA.
Thank you. This is what I wanted to ask, because my thought was, like, these kids don't know Anderson Silva. Why would they know karate? I think,
there's karate schools around here. There's a lot of them.
They could have also traveled to be in the tournament. It's California.
That's true. That's
pretty
true.
big.
Okay.
And yet, there's not a radius clause on the tournament.
And my nephew's doing karate classes right now.
Is he really?
Yeah, the one in Nashville.
That's badass.
Yeah, you know what? He's getting scary. He's getting really good because I used to, be able to beat their asses. He's like 12
you don't
years.
to play that game anymore.
I went at him, just a wrestle with the nephew, and he put me in a chokehold. And I tapped out. I was like, Jesus, he's 12.
That's
awesome.
Like all of them jumping, you're like 5-on-1 is inappropriate.
That's what I said. 1-to-1, no problem. 5-1, ask no one.
It sounds like you're playing audio from the movie. People aren't even going to know it's you.
I hate this, and I said I didn't want it to happen. I said that.
You've made it clear you're not a part of my impersonation. It's all
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah.
The other issue that I have with the karate tournament, and again, I liked it. It's a big crowd for a high school karate tournament.
Yeah.
It looks like Madison Square Garden in there.
I'm going to put the kibosh on that, because as somebody who was a kid in travel baseball, wow, does everyone think they need to come? I don't know what they think is happening. I think parents think there's a draft afterwards. Everybody comes to everything. There's 18 grandparents. There's all. So think about the amount of kids there, and 2 parents. Half of them are probably divorced and dating somebody else. Now you got 4.
Well, we know Daniel's poor mother's going to be there, probably looking for a man.
Amen. Maybe he brings a date. That's 2 for Daniel.
By the way, karate tournament, probably a good place to look for a man.
No kidding.
I mean, there's a lot of dudes in there that just wishes they were in the tournament, or back in the day,
but they're giving advice on the side. It's because your kick's not getting up there.
When I was 14, I pulled a triple Lindy 360 and I got the trophy.
If it wasn't for tearing my ACL.
Now what do? I work at Walmart.
It's because my ACL.
So I like the tournament overall. Brian, I'm curious because this seems like it's more your wheelhouse. I have an unanswered question that maybe you can shed some light on.
Okay, go for it.
In the semifinals, when Daniel's fighting one of the Cobra Kai guys.
Yes.
He kicks Daniel's leg.
Yeah, sweep the leg.
Yeah. Why is that illegal? That seemed like good strategy.
So he kicked him, you see. He kicked him in the they're supposed to range from the top of the knee to the midsection for the points.
Yeah.
He kicked him in the kneecap.
It seemed like a great strategy.
Well,
it was super effective.
He kneecapped him.
Well, you could have bit him too. It would have been illegal. Yeah, this isn't just by any means. It's not a street fight.
Yeah, because they say at the beginning, if you're paying more attention instead of worrying about his poor mom, that they say the points are done from like above the knee to like below the shoulders.
I guess I just assumed the kneecap was part of above the knee.
No, because you can do cheap shots. They were avoiding like face, throat, kneecap, the cheap shot area.
Well, then how is a crane kick different? A crane kick, you kick him in the face.
You can kick in the face, I believe.
Oh, okay. All right. So you can't kick somebody in the kneecap, but you can kick somebody in the face.
With a crane kick.
Yeah. If you know how to do
it coming, because you got to do the whole arm. It takes like 15 minutes. If you get crane kicked in the face, you deserve it.
Yeah, that's right.
The fact that you couldn't scooch over in that amount of time is unbelievable.
I mean, the guy gets in that position. Gee, what is he going to do?
Why are you even letting him do that? Like, kick him or something.
I love that. You're exactly right. So he gets kicked in the knee, which, again, I thought was legal. I wasn't totally following that.
Yeah.
Again, I love Mr. Miyagi. Gonna, once again, raise a red flag. Daniel's in the locker room with his girlfriend, his mom, and his old Japanese friend. Yeah.
Why is he not allowed to be in there? It's supervised.
And he kicks his mom and girlfriend out of the locker room and then says, Mr. Miyagi, do the hand thing. And then he rubs his hands together and touches his leg.
Right?
Again, if your child was telling you this after the fact, you would be greatly concerned. And then Daniel comes out, hits the crane kick, wins the tournament. My biggest complaint about the movie is actually the ending of it. Not that he wins the tournament. I'm not bothered by that. The movie ends like this is a live sports broadcast and they've run out of time.
That's great.
He hits the crane kick. Johnny apologizes. He goes, hey, man, you're all right. And then the movie just ends. It ends so suddenly.
Well, here's the thing.
Well, because there's a sequel. You have to pay more money to see more.
That's right. You've got to watch Karate Kid 2 now to see what happens right after the tournament. That's all I'm going to say.
Is it like the next day is the sequel when the sequel starts?
It's not even the next day. It's right after they're walking out.
It picks up from there.
It picks up right there.
It's like, have you ever played a video game in an arcade and it stops and you have to insert 25 cents? It's exactly like that. And then your player keeps running. It's an identical scenario. It's right there.
I've never seen a sequel like that, by the way.
Dinner. It's like, oh, here we go.
Wow.
Yeah, they pick it up right from there, and you have to know what happens in the parking lot. Oh, wow. It's mind-blowing.
Okay, great.
You got to watch it today and review it on Monday.
I'm going to watch it today because next Friday is the 20th anniversary of The Notebook, and so we're going to do The Notebook next Friday.
What do you think of that, Kenzie? Him doing The Notebook.
Why? What do you mean?
Like because he was asking me that this morning, and I was kind of like, well, it's the ultimate chick flick movie
It's super well known. You should watch it.
But I mean, I think for guys out there,
it's not my favorite chick flick. I have to be honest. It is not even. It's not in my top for chick flicks.
It's the movie, I think.
And I will tell you why on Friday once you review it.
Yeah, let's not talk about The Notebook right now.
I got some hot Notebook takes. It's not my favorite.
Yeah, let's do that. But so what are you going to give this? Is it karate chops out of 10?
Well, it's 8 crane kicks out of 10.
Wow.
It's a really fun movie. I have some issues with it. Again, mainly Daniel being a bitch.
Yeah.
But it is a really fun movie. I love Allie with an I. I love the fact that there are guys that ride dirt bikes and do karate in the town.
Who wouldn't?
I think Mr. Miyagi is a fascinating character. It's weird that he once again tries to proposition Daniel with alcohol while he talks about his World War II trauma. There's a lot of unexplained Mr. Miyagi things, but overall, man, this was a fun movie.
Okay, good. And 8 crane kicks out of 10. And we'll leave you like we do often with a Family Guy version of Karate Kid. It's just 10 seconds here.
We now return to an 80s teen movie at a realistic high school.
You're going down at that karate tournament.
I don't think so.
You guys do karate? You're both losers.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.